welcome to Aussie Homeschool Adventures. It's so good to see you. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've sat down and been able to film. I thought I'd jump on and try and film a bit of a life update, a catch up on what's been happening for me and my family, and just let you know what's happening and what's been going on and why I haven't really been posting as much lately. So, long story short, we've had a lot of stuff happening in my personal world. We lost a family member about 12 months ago, and everything just kind of went a bit pear-shaped after that. My husband's work has been up and down all over the place. We've got a big change again, the second one in like 12 months, happening in a couple of weeks' time. That's going to mean some really big things for our family. I'll do a separate video about that maybe a bit later on once everything's sort of firmed up and finalised. So I just thought I'd let you know what we've been doing this year homeschool-wise. We are still homeschooling. That hasn't stopped. It's not going to stop anytime soon. We love it still, and it still just works, and it's still really good for our family. So we've been doing gather round units this past 6 months of the year, the first semester. We've completed 2 units. We did earth science and farming and food. We really enjoyed both of those units and that style of school for something different. We are not continuing down that road of gather round for second semester. I spoke to my girls about it. We've had a big conversation about it, and they actually want to go back to what we were using at the end of last year. So we're going to pick back up with all of our master books, curriculum stuff that we didn't finish. I've never been a big finisher of units, workbooks, curriculum stuff. We've just never really been very good at finishing a whole year's worth of stuff in a year. Not because we're not doing enough work, but because we're doing other stuff as well as the workbooks. So we tend to sort of mix things up, chop and change and whatnot, do whatever works best for our family. So we're going to pick back up and continue down that path again. So we will be using our math lessons for a living education because we really enjoy those. We haven't stopped using that because Gather Round doesn't do maths, so we were still using this one even this year, even at the start of the year. So we're going to do that. We're using Master Books Living Art lessons. We've started on those. We've done a few lessons. I hope to continue with this a little bit more frequently, using going back to the old way of doing things. The old way. It sounds so funny, but yeah. And we'll be going back to using our language lessons for a living education as well. So the girls still have pretty much a term's worth of work left in their last year's level, so on level 3 and level 4. I'm going to finish up level 3 and level 4 because we haven't done it for 6 months. So we'll finish these up and we'll just see how we go with it all. If we're still liking it, then I will purchase level 5 for my oldest daughter and reprint level 4 for my younger daughter because she'll be going into level 4. We're going back to using our spelling sheets that we've always used from Teachers Pay Teachers. A Teachable Teacher, I think, might be her store name. I'll leave a link in the description box below for these. But they do, there's some really cool ones. So, like, there's a code one, and then there's the boxes, and there's a fonts one, and a typing one, and a whole bunch of different sheets. They're all themed for the 4 seasons of the year. I actually don't stick to using the fall ones in fall and the winter ones in winter. We just do the sheets that we like best. The only different thing we're going to pick up is we're going to use this one, our Sunburnt Country, an illustrated history of Australia. We're going to start reading through this for our Australian history this semester. Not going to do geography per se. There'll be a little bit of geography within this. I'm going to attempt to make some activities to go along with this book as we read our way through it. So I'm looking forward to reading this with the girls. Everyone loves it, supposedly. I've heard lots of great reviews from other Australian homeschoolers about it. It can be a hard book to get your hands on, but I finally managed to grab a copy from my homeschool, when they were selling them out on clearance, so I don't think they're carrying them anymore, so I'm not sure where to get it. Otherwise, I would leave you a link. So we'll be adding that one in. We've been reading the Weiler book as well. There's two of those. They're a novel. So we'll be reading those and that together for our Australian studies this term. I'm going to say term just because I'm not sure what's going to happen with it all. We will start and see how we go. I plan to just go with the flow like I always do. I still have one more Gather Round unit that I printed out for the start of this year. That was their chemistry unit. And I was looking at it just before and I'm like, oh, maybe we could do it like on Fridays and just do it on a Friday. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm looking at it. I really love it. And I love it written as is. It's actually one of their newer units. The units that they've written in more recent years are a lot more inclusive when they're doing their other activity pages. So like it all relates back to the topic more than some of the older units I've found, if that makes sense. So I'd love to do it as is, as a whole unit study, the 4 weeks focused in. So we might finish that at the end of, we might do this for this term and then we might finish our year with chemistry from Gather Round just to finish it up for the year and then start new books for language arts next year kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. That's the beauty of homeschool, is we can be so flexible with what we do. You can chop and change depending on what's happening in your family, what's happening in your personal world, what your children need. I always like to check with my kids every term, every semester, every little while, just check in with them and go, so did you like what we were doing? Is it working? Do you want to try something different? And that's how we ended up going back to this, because I asked both of my girls, what do you think? Do you want to do more Gather Round units next term? Do you want to go back and do what we were doing last year? Do you want to do something different? And they thought about it for a little bit and they both came back to me and were like, no, we want to go back to what we were doing. We'll also be doing our zoology. I didn't bring that down with me, but this is the Master Book Zoology Science unit. We'll be finishing it up. I have been sitting down with my beautiful planner from Unbound Homeschooling from Jamie and planning out our weeks to come. So we'll be doing world history again too, so picking up our Story of the World that we were reading. We're in volume 2 still. We're working our way through the medieval part of that. So taking quite a while to actually get through it. We're just reading it, doing some of the activities out of the activity book. We had planned on going to the big medieval festival that's held in Caboolture this year, but we just didn't get there and it just didn't work out for us. So maybe next year, we'll see how we go. We're going to do more of the geography unit that I've got from Master Books. I will throw a picture up here or here of the book. I don't have it down here with me. It was another great book that's sort of a combination of geography. There's a bit of history in it, all that kind of stuff. So it's more world geography rather than just Australian geography. The art I showed you, our zoology and our Australian history, and then I'm going to have Fridays as our fun Fridays. So every Friday will be very loose. It'll be a chance to catch up on work that we haven't finished during the week, stuff that we need to finish up. So if we haven't done enough of something because something's happened or something, we'll be able to make it up and catch up and play some of our great games. We love games and love playing games as a family. The girls and I are always playing games during the week. So Fridays will be a chance to play some board games and then catch up on any bookwork that we have to do. Maybe go on a few excursions if we can manage it this term. We'll see how we go. It really does depend on what's happening with my husband's work because, like I said, it's all a bit up in the air still, so it's great. I love living in this realm of just uncertainty. Hopefully things are going to settle down soon. I hope. That's why I haven't been posting. I've just not had the mental capacity I need to think, plan, and film, edit, and upload. It's just been too much for me. But I've finally starting to find some normality again, even though I know I'm saying things are changing, but now I know what that change is going to be, if that makes sense. So it's all good. It's just going to take some time to find a new equilibrium, if I got that word right. Gosh, it's a big word. A new balance, a new way of doing things. So yeah, I've planned out our week. I'll show you what I've got. I'm very basic in what I do. I've been forward planning. So I've got our devotions or Bible in the morning. Then we'll do our language lessons, handwriting, spelling, maths, world history, and then some typing as well. Tuesday will be the same. Those top 5-ish subjects are our core. And then in the afternoon, we'll do geography and art. Wednesday, I haven't written the core subjects, but they'll be there along with our zoology. And then Thursday will be our Australian history and our Weiler read aloud. So, and then Friday, like I said, will be our fun days. So that's our semester 2 or our term 3 plans, I should say. We have really enjoyed our gather round stuff. Don't get me wrong, I do love it. I think it's a great program. The new units in particular, so the ones that are written more recently, are really well done. So if you're looking for a unit study styled approach, check out Gather Round. It's really good. It's really flexible. You can really rabbit trail down paths and dive deep into stuff with it if your kids are that way inclined. So apart from that, that's pretty much what's happening in our world. We are going to... I'll try and get back to posting. I might even try and film a day in the life video once we've started. We haven't actually started our semester 2 yet here where we are in Queensland. School went back this week and we've had a really gentle ease-in week for us. I usually start with that kind of easing in. We've had 2 weeks off. It was perfect timing with all the changes that have been happening. So it's been really good just to sort of ease back in and start doing a little bit of school this week. We'll start probably on Monday, fingers crossed, all being well in the world, although my daughter has an appointment next week, so that might affect our week a little bit too. So that's all right. We'll be flexible. We'll make it work. So apart from that, yeah, I'll film a day in the life. I've got that one coming out. If there's something that you really want to see or know more about from me, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My link is in the description box below. Otherwise, you can pop a question down here in the comment section. I'll either answer you or I can make a video about it, depending on what it is. Always happy to help out. I love helping out new homeschoolers, people that are just starting on this journey. I'd like to do for people what I wished I had for me when I started out 6 years ago homeschooling. And that was just more Australian content. There's so little Australians sharing, especially here on YouTube. There's more now. When I started 6 years ago, heaps more of us here on YouTube and on social media sharing our lives and our journey. So if you want to see more of my day-to-day stuff, pop over on Instagram. I do try and share on there in my stories what I'm up to and what's happening. Like I said, I have been quite reclusive maybe. I don't know. Just been not posting as much. I'm hoping to get back and get a bit better at it again. It's just finding that balance too with social media. I find that it can be a bit all-consuming for me. And I need to balance my own usage of it. I can get quite caught up and lose time easily just scrolling, because it has that effect on all of us, I think, just to mindlessly scroll and look at stuff. Even if it is helpful stuff, it's still not always great. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and end the video. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.